Good morning, everyone. This is Jacob Palmer from Palmer Electrical. Thanks for tuning back in. As always, if you like what you see in the video or if you have any questions, make sure you let me know about that in the comments. Make sure you leave a like and you subscribe and all that good YouTube stuff. Let me know what you learned in today's video, and also let me know how you might have done something differently. I've done a lot of stuff like this, but I always learn something new in the comments section of every video, so make sure you leave your thoughts. But today I'm here at a remodel job I've been working at over the last few months. We're in the trim out stage now, and I'm installing some fixtures, one of which here in the great room on this angled high ceiling here is one of these Minka Air pin-up ceiling fans. These are super cool. I've installed one of these before. They have two sets of blades here. They counter rotate. You'll see what I mean whenever it's done. But it creates a really cool effect whenever it's going. Of course, it has a light built in. And in this case, we've got an angled ceiling mounting kit and a longer down rod to install to get it at the level that the homeowners want. This is a pretty simple one. It's just a ceiling fan install, but I'll be talking a little bit about slope ceiling mounting, as well as other safety and cleanliness tips along the way. The kind of stuff that I do to make it not just a fan installation, but a good fan installation. There is a difference. As a prerequisite, I already know that the mounting here is rated for a fan. It's a steel octagon box mounted to framing members. It's screwed in, it's very solid. It can support my body weight. And it's also already got the wiring it needs. I'm gonna get these last items out of the way, put down some plastic and a drop cloth, and get the ladder set up. We'll get started. Stay on. All right, looks like some of the carpentry stuff is left here. Clear this out of the area. I'm tempted to throw this stuff away here because it really looks like trash, but there's some screws in here that I don't want to be responsible for losing if somebody was going to come back to this. I don't know whose that belongs to, but I'm going to leave it. A good rule of thumb I have found is if it looks like trash, it gets thrown away. So if you do need to leave something behind in a job site like that, make sure it's either labeled or in a box with other stuff. Make it obvious that you don't want it thrown away, because somebody like me comes along, throws away, now all those screws are missing. You know, they're probably not that important, but yeah, I won't be responsible for it. I'm gonna put down a sheet of plastic, and then I'm gonna put down my drop cloth on top of it, just because I've used this drop cloth once before, didn't wash it yet. So I know it's probably got some dust and stuff in it. So I'm gonna put down the plastic to keep that dust off the floor, and also makes it so that my boots don't catch too much on this whenever I'm walking. I'm gonna take a measurement here, try to judge if I need the 10 or 12 foot ladder. I forget which one I used whenever I took the old fan down that was here. Yeah, looks like the 10 foot is going to be the way to go here. This ladder's really sticky. Now let's get this taken apart, start getting everything together. We're ready for installation. All right, first things first, it's 45-degree slope adapter. This just allows the down rod more freedom of motion. There's the adapter, and there's the down rod ball. You can see when this goes in, it allows a whole lot of freedom of motion. Most regular down rods can do an angle of maybe up to 10, 15 degrees, maybe, depending. This one allows all the way up to a 45, and pretty much all these angles in between here. We've got our color-matched 3/4 inch inner diameter down rod. This plastic is shrink wrapped. Don't be the idiot that uses your knife and opens this. The paint under here looks great, but it's not very strong, so just peel it, take your time. This is our down rod. This is a 3-foot down rod here. And lastly, the star of the show. These blades we won't need for a little while, so we're going to leave them in the packaging just for protection till we need them. We've Got the smaller fan blades here also. We've got the standard down rod and hanging bracket. We won't be needing these, we'll set them aside. The remote receiver and remote. Canopy light kit. Put the canopy here. We'll set this light kit aside for now also. That's the last piece. Here's all of our blade screws and the canopy trim ring. Washers for the blade screws. And then this is some additional mounting hardware which we won't be using. And the main event, our fan motor. Handle your motor gently. It's easy to bump it around, and especially this one. It's got these separate flywheels and everything. It's easy to bend up and get out of balance. So make sure you set it down even, don't bang it around, be gentle with it. Now, despite how it looks, this only has one fan motor. This top piece here and this bottom piece is where the large U-shaped blades attach on top and bottom. It's powered up on here, and this bottom one just free spins. And this middle piece here also free spins. This is where the smaller inner blades attach, and they just free spin based on the movement of air created by the large blades. I would speculate that it probably reduces the airflow by some tiny amount, just because it's introducing some resistance in the airflow, but it's still an effective fan. I've installed one of these before. It moves a lot of air. This right here is where it's controlled from. They pulled the 14.3 cable here with 2 switch legs to this single gang switch box. The black switch leg was just capped off in the back of the box, unused. They were using one of these old style Minka Air wall control switches. With this new fan, this old controller probably isn't compatible, and also the homeowner didn't like it. It's a little yellowed, old looking. We'll get rid of it, and they just want a regular wall switch. I am going to choose to just continue to use the red switch leg for power to the fan, but it doesn't really matter. The red or the black one is fine. When you're reusing a fiberglass box like this, either use a screwdriver or keep your drill on low. A lot of times the screw holes are really easy to strip out when they're like this and reused. Leave that off for now. All right, let's get the bracket installed. Got our black one here. We're gonna push that up underneath everything that's unused. Got ground, our red switch leg here. This is our white neutral. For this bracket to work properly, you have to make sure that the center of it is parallel with the slope going down the wall. Otherwise, you won't be able to get it to hang straight. Get these nice and tight. Give it a tug test, and what I like to do, pull on it so that you can feel your weight getting lifted up on it. Give it a good tug. Feels solid. We'll eyeball it from the floor. Looks good, parallel. Now let's get our down rod and motor hooked up, ready to hang. Some people will choose to put the blades on at ground level. Some people will choose to put the blades on the ladder. In this case, I'm going to put the blades on after the motor has been hung and the fan controller wired up. The reason that is that this is a pretty big fan. It's got 60-inch blades, says here on the box. So for me to do that, I would really be risking banging those blades up while I carry it up. That's just a little less feasible. It'll take a little bit more time to put the blades on up there, especially with a high ceiling like this, because we have to go up and down for each one. But in my opinion, it's worth it to do it that way for the sake of the fan. So let's get started with our motor here. We'll get this cross pin on the bottom removed. I'm gonna back out the set screws. Now we gotta fish the wires up through the down rod here, which sometimes is easy and sometimes is the worst part of your day. I like to tape the end of this bundle. And then I'm gonna try to push it through. We'll see if this is gonna be easy or not. And feels good. Okay. Great. The longer the down rod, the harder that is to do. You get that down, threaded into the top of the fan motor here. Screw it all the way down until the hole in the down rod lines up with the hole in the fan motor. There it is. Now the cross pin, push it through with the hitch pin, like that. And then tighten down these set screws. Cool. You want to kind of go back and forth like that to make sure it's even. Now we got to put all the down rod accessories on. Starting from the bottom up, we've got the trim piece for the base of the down rod. Now our canopy and its ring. The ring goes on first because it goes on below the canopy. Like that. Good. The angled down rod comes with one of these little hex keys. Don't lose it. It's got a set screw on the inside. Helps to hold it onto the down rod even. Cross pin with its hitch pin, and then we're going to tighten down those hex set screws. Same thing as the bottom. We're going to do it. We're going to go back and forth between them while we tighten them, just so that we know it's even, or as even as it can be. Something like this, it's not a huge, massive difference, but the sum of all the little things you do throughout the process will add up, make it a nice clean install. We've got a whole lot of extra wire here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this now and strip them so that we can save that hassle while we're on top of the ladder. I'm going to cut it right about there, 6 or 8 inches coming out the top. Should be good for you. And strip a little less than ½ an inch off of each one of these. I stupidly, accidentally cut into some steel wire with my strippers the other day. You can see on the blade there the indentions. They still cut, but now they're a little sticky. I gotta get a new pair. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-attach the receiver to the down rod on the ground also. I'm gonna use some of these Wago 221 lever nuts. I like that they're clear and you can see and verify that your wire is seated in the mechanism where it needs to be. I'm still building confidence in these Wago connectors, and I did somewhat experimentally use them for a full kitchen at a project that was very nearby to the shop. So in case there's a callback related, it's not that far, but I wanted to put them in a spot where they'd be stress tested and make sure that they're good. And so far, it's been several months now and haven't heard anything about it. So I'm going to use one of these 5-port Wagos for the grounds, and then inline for the incoming power. There's that bundle wired up like that. Should be good. I'm going to move my ladder out of the way because when I go up there, the down rod's going to hang. Bracket. Okay, perfect. And there's our down rod seated right where it needs to be. Looks good. I'm gonna do my grounds first. It's from the down rod, it's from the mounting bracket. And this one here is our equipment grounding conductor in the circuit, but you can see it's been covered up by the painters, so I'm gonna use my strippers here to clear off some fresh, beautiful copper. Get all that paint off of there. It's no good. Especially with these Wagos, I wanna make sure that there's definitely no paint. We have our equipment ground. Now we just need our grounded conductor, more commonly the neutral. Give it a tug. And our ungrounded conductor, more commonly the hot wire. Fold these up, make sure there's no damage on the wire. That could cause an arc fault breaker to trip or anything like that, no shorts. And I'm gonna try to tuck some of this excess down rod wire up into the box as much as I can. Try to get it out of the way so that it doesn't get caught up with our canopy when we try to close it up. All right, that looks like it'll probably be good for us. Tuck in the wiring. Take this part slow. Make sure you're not pinching anything. Check around, make sure there's nothing pinched and it looks good. Now the trim piece. There we are. All right, perfect. Buttoned up good. One last thing before we get rid of the tall ladder here so we can put the blades on. Magic eraser. Maybe you can see there's a bunch of smudges where my hands were all over this canopy. Magic eraser will get rid of those smudges in a jiffy. Nobody's ever going to notice these smudges. I really don't think. It would take a serious eagle eye for somebody at ground level to be worried about that. But while we're here, we might as well make it showroom quality, especially because it takes, as you saw there, about 20 extra seconds. All right, now we're ready for blades. I'm gonna move the 10-foot ladder and we're gonna get out the 6-foot ladder to install the blades. All right. 6-footer. All right, these are the fan screws here. These screws here are a Phillips number 3. It's important to use the right tool for the job. A Phillips number 2 will work, but it's not technically correct. Using a Phillips 3 with a Phillips 3 screw greatly reduces the chance of stripping and damaging the head of the screws. This screwdriver here is a youre Phillips 3 insulated screwdriver with the laser tip. Here you can see those lines where it's been engraved, and it really gives it a good grip on screws. Here, look at this. Blade screws, there's a lot of them. And they're washers. All right, got our little blades here. The small blades have 2 screws per blade. The big ones have 5 per blade, 2 on top, 3 on bottom. Get them good and snug. I set you up on the other ladder there. Maybe you see a little bit better. And there it is, we're done. You can see it has a little bit of wobble, but that's normal for a ceiling fan with a down rod like this. One thing I like about these fans is the holes in the blades have just a little bit of a friction fit for the screw. So you can thread it in a little bit and it doesn't fall out. Makes it easier so that you don't have to juggle a third piece while you're trying to line up the holes. All right, all the small blades are in, and this will be a good time to stop and show you. You see a little bit better how this works. So this bottom section here, free spins. This top section here, free spins, and this is the motor. And these blades here just free spin themselves. So these blades, their screws get installed through the holes on this bottom bracket. Your screwdriver goes up through here to tighten them up. And then the big ones, 2 screws go in vertically from the top, and then 3 go in through the bottom. Let's get started on those. One end of the blade here is supposed to hang while you're installing it. It's a little weird, I don't really like it, but that's how it is. So we'll get up above here with 2 blade screws and 2 washers. Yeah, this blade hanging just makes me uncomfortable. All right. You can start to see how this is going to come together. I think it's super cool. I do also think that this is something that in 20 years, when the next guy comes along, they're going to say something like, man, what were they doing back in the 20s? All right, number 2. We're getting right on down to the home stretch here, aren't we? 3. And 5. There's all the blades installed. Looks good. All right, I'll show you around. You can see here the top, 2 screws on top. They wrap around, 3 screws on the bottom. Pretty cool. Oh, that looks awesome. Let's get the light kit installed and we'll power it up. Here's the light kit we set aside. Now this part here is really tricky. It's very tricky. Ready? Okay, make sure you pay attention. There's one connector and it's pre-wired, okay? So you take it, plug it in. Okay, now it goes up to the metal bracket. You seat it all the way up in place and then you twist. Clockwise you twist, not counterclockwise. You twist clockwise and you're done. Okay, looks like you power it on and then you hold down the square button on the remote for 3 to 5 seconds and then the light should blink whenever it pairs. Okay. Power on, press and hold. All right, it paired. The manual said now it's going to do a calibration sequence where it'll spin back and forth both ways. It'll do that for a little while. We're going to let that get done and we'll get back with you whenever it's set. Save the warranty information just in case the customer wants to take advantage of that one day. All the rest is trash. All right, remember what I said earlier about something looking like trash? If it looks like trash, it gets thrown away. On this job, the GC has agreed to remove the trash from the job site, so this will be left in the garage, and this will make it really easy for him to know that it is ready to be thrown away. All right, it has finished the calibration sequence. Light works. There it goes. Look at that. Super cool. I think that this fan was a really good choice for this space. A big room with a high ceiling like this really needs something big in the air, I think. Otherwise, it just kind of makes you feel small. I think that, you know, using that space there is really worth it, especially if you want to use it as a ceiling fan and want it to help cool the space, get a breeze going. Feels great, and I love the visual effect of those inner blades spinning with it. Really a unique fan. Thanks for watching today's video. I wanted to get something out for you guys. I thought this would be a really interesting project, and maybe there are some DIYers and homeowners who want to do a similar installation themselves. Hopefully I was able to teach you something. Maybe you learned a little bit. Like I said at the beginning, it's just a fan installation. Nothing too special about it, but it's a super cool looking fan. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said at the beginning of the video, leave a comment how you would have done something differently, or let me know what I taught you. Leave a like and make sure you subscribe there. And I know the homeowner likes this fan too because they got 2 of them. I'm gonna sign off so I can get started on getting the second one installed. Thanks for watching and have a great day. This has been Jacob Palmer from Palmer Electrical. Take care.